Right, ladies and gents, thought I'd do a review on this controller here, just to give you my opinion. And a lot of people say I only do reviews on like American Audio products, but here's a Pioneer product for you. I thought I'd do a review because I just removed it from the MFA Bowl, the residency place I have on Friday nights, because we're installing CDJs, and I thought I'd do a quick review before I get this up on eBay because I'm actually going to be selling this. And I will put a link down in the description if you want to go have a look. So what do I think of this? I think it's fantastic, really. First thing that really got me when I bought this was the weight. I can sort of hold this with my index finger and my thumb, so that's incredibly light. Also, it's Pioneer, so you know the sound cards are good. If you've ever used a Pioneer mixer or anything like that, the sound cards they use in those mixers are fantastic. So the sound quality you get out of this, I can assure you, it is only phono, RCA, whatever you call it, red and white. It is only that out, but you can get cables to adapt to XLR, jack, whatever. But I can assure you, the sound quality you get out of this is loud. You're not going to have any problems where your outputs are too quiet. It's amazing. Even your mic output can go nice and loud. You can pump that right up. And your headphones, in terms of outputs on headphones, you've got mini jack or you've got 1/4 inch. So that's really nice as well. Now, to give you an idea, this is just a MIDI controller. All it can do is control your computer software. You can't plug anything in externally. It's not like hasn't got any other inputs. All you do is you put your USB into the side there. You then put the other end into your computer, and it comes with Virtual DJ LE or Serato Intro. Depending on what version you can get other versions which are like Virtual DJ or DJAY. And you can use those softwares, but this is the WEGO-w, which comes with Virtual DJ LE, and you can download a version of either that or Serato and use that. But the unit itself, as I said, very good quality sound card in it. You can get real nice volumes, but it's also very, very basic. So if you're looking for a basic controller just to start out, you've got your low, your mid, your highs. You've got 2 channels, so you've got your low, your mid, your high, channel 1 and 2. You've got your channel 1, channel 2. The faders are very nice. Not too firm, not too loose, sort of right in the middle. Crossfader, very good. It's sort of good for scratch. It's very loose, very quick, very smooth, which is what you want from a crossfader. Your pitch controls, personally I don't like it when they're at the top, but they do the job. It feels a little bit too small for me, so if you're into it for mixing and you need a lot of pitch range, that's good. But if you only use sort of 6, 8, 12, 16, whatever percentage, low percentages, you're going to be fine on that. And it has got the dreaded sync button, so if you don't want a controller that's got the sync button, this might not be for you, but it has the sync button. You can also do 4-deck mixing. You've got deck C, deck D. You've got a little browser knob on the top here, so you can scroll through your folders. If you hold shift and scroll it, you can scroll through your folders. Or if you just want to go through tracks, you can use just the knob without holding shift. You've then got load to the deck A, so that button there will load to that deck. That button there will load to that deck. You've also got loads of different other options when you hold shift, which are highlighted in white. Now, one of my favourite features on this unit is the RGB. And what this does is, I'll show you in a second, I'll start the controller up. But around the jog wheels you have lights, and you can hold shift, and you've got RGB, and you can twist them and colour mix until you get a colour of jog wheel that you want. So then you could set that, say, orange, you could set that one, say, pink, and then you know which deck's which. Or you could correspond them to your software, however you want to do it, but I really like how you can customise the controller using the lights to get a feel. So that's really nice. As I said, it's really light. The jog wheels themselves, the middle bit feels to me like it's made of either a really light sort of metal. They've got some nice weight to them. And the outside's plastic. That's both sides. And they feel really nice quality, but if you do them, they're quite smooth. So when you move them about, they're smoother, not sort of feeling. A lot of cheaper controllers that are plastic jog wheels sometimes feel a bit dodgy when you're moving the jog wheels, spin too much. But these just spin a little bit, and then the weight of them sort of slows them down. which I like about them. Auto loop, you haven't got any loop in or loop out. You've got an auto loop. So what that does is on the software you can pick over how many sort of beats you want it to loop. So 4, 8, 16, 32. You can even go lower. You set that. You wait until the start of the loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You hit loop, and then it'll do the loop for you. And then you can change that once it's set, or however you do your loops. With your headphones, you can either change it so you're hearing the cue, so what you've got queued up on your PFLs here, or what's going out live, so your master, and you've got a volume of that there. One downside to this is it doesn't have gain control. So if you like to set your gains for your channels, you don't have that. But the way I was using it to get around it is instead of turning my gain up just a little bit, I turn this one up a little bit, this one up a little bit, this one up a little bit. And that's pretty much the same as turning your gain up for that channel. So that's the way around that. As I said, it's very stylish. On the bottom is white. On the back, you got the Pioneer logo. It's sort of a wedge shape. It's a nice sort of shape to it. You've got a switch on the other side. You've got a switch for on and off your headphones and your USB. And on this side you've got your master out, so your red and white phono. Your mic, which is jack only, so if you like using the XLR, this doesn't support that, but you can always get a jack to XLR, let you use your microphone. And you've got a Kensington lock, which I really like. Kensington lock is basically, I'll show you, I've got one over here. Kensington lock is basically one of these. So you pop that little bit there into the controller. You then wrap the cable around whatever you want to do it, like a table leg, lock it in a loop, and then that controller's fixed. So it's good, especially if you did like I did and installed it into the say you're at a residency and you want to install it and lock it in, make sure nobody sort of moves it or anything. It's got a Kensington lock socket to support that. Apart from that, you don't need any power lead, so if you're trying to save on pat testing, that's good. You don't need a power lead. USB powered. As I said, the sound card's very good. You can customise it. You can do 4-deck mixing, although you have to remember if you've got deck C or deck D illuminated. The sound card quality is very good. It's very light, but it's a more budget controller from Pioneer. There are sort of higher end controllers from Pioneer, but as a lot of you know, Pioneer, really respected name in the DJ industry, so it's going to be good. But this does feel a lot more plasticky than a lot of your controllers, but it's still got the features like the metal jog wheels that make it feel good quality, although it's cheaper. So that's the review of the hardware. I'll plug it into some software and let you sort of see what I think. But overall, it's a good controller. If you just want something decent and you know it's got good quality and a good name behind it, look at the WEGO. I think it's awesome. Right, so I've plugged it in and I'm using Virtual DJ Pro, but as I said, you can download an LE version. The serial number is on the bottom of the controllers usually. This one is. So you can use LE or you can use Serato Intro. And I think both of them come out of the box working. But as I said, one of my favourite features is the jog wheels. So as I said, here you've got R, G, B. And you access them by holding shift. So say I hold shift. I could turn the red dial at the top. Add some more red. So I've added all the red in. I'm going to move that back to normal. If I could then hold the middle one. Take out all the green. Take out all the blue. And that gives me red. Then that deck's red. That one's blue. So I can see which corresponds to which on Virtual DJ. And you can do that for both decks, and I really think that's an awesome feature. So that's good. One weird thing you might have to get used to is your effects buttons are around the outside here. So if you wanted to say echo, you press echo and then it will activate the echo effect. But one good thing is when you've got an effect turned on, the jog wheel will do something to let you know you've got an effect activated. So it will allow you to sort of put an effect on and forget you've got an effect going on. So if you're in the mix, you won't get some weird echo thing happening because you've forgotten to turn it off. So I like that, and that works for most of your effects. And it's different for each one, so you can sort of figure out what you've got turned on and things like that, so that's cool. The buttons are all hard buttons, you can probably hear as I'm pressing them, so it's responsive. Q button's very responsive, but it's not like a rubberized button or anything, it's a solid plastic. The EQs, they don't completely kill it, but they dampen it right down. So if you want a controller that when you turn all your EQs down, you kill it completely, you're not going to get that. Your PFLs, so to choose which side your headphones are listening to, you've got 2 illuminated buttons in the middle. So you can just change which one you're listening to there. And as I said with browsing, turn the brightness down a little bit here. You can move this to change your tracks and then to select one. Just press load to deck A or load to deck B. And then you can queue it up that way. If you want to access folders, you can hold that, scroll through the folders, find a track, select it, and then you can go through your folders. And another feature, I don't know if I mentioned it, but you've got your hotkeys on the bottom here, so you can set 1, you can set that, gotta be careful what I do because of copyright. You can set another cue point, another cue point, another cue point. To clear it, you hold shift, click on your hotkeys, you can clear them. You've got a sync button, so if you want to use the sync button, you are a sync DJ. You've got that. Deck A, you can turn it on and you're now using the 3rd deck on Virtual DJ. Same with this side, you press that, you're now using a 4th deck, so you can do 4-deck mixing. And as it's a fully MIDI controller, you can even do video mixing with it. You can do things like link a crossfader in the software. So if you wanted to do video mixing, it enables you to do that as well. Other than that, fantastic controller. As I said, you've got things like the loops as well, so you can't really see, but here on the screen, as you move that, it's changing how many beats the loop is happening for, so 4, 8, 16. You change it. I'll do a really low one. So as you move it, you can change the amount of loop. You can also do things like change it to sampler mode. There's a button over here. Press that and that changes that to allow your hotkeys to be samples. It's actually down here. Press that, these are now samples. And obviously you can map those samples to be whatever you want to be. But that's really it. It's a really simple controller, good quality because it's from Pioneer. And I think it's really great. It's really portable. It's just a little bit bigger than my 13-inch MacBook. So you could probably get away with putting it in a laptop bag, take it to your gig. And really, if you have a cable to adapt it out, you could probably do your whole gig just using this controller. So if you want a really lightweight, portable option, check out a Pioneer WEGO. Thanks guys.